Thank you for spending some reflective time with me. Today I'd like to focus on a very special scripture. Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 13. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What gain have the workers from their toil? I have seen the business that God has given to everyone to be busy with. He has made everything suitable for its time. Moreover, He has put a sense of past and future into their minds, yet they cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. I know that there is nothing better for them than to be happy and enjoy themselves as long as they live. Moreover, it is God's gift that all should eat and drink and take pleasure in all their toil. As we ready ourselves to leave behind the lush, brilliant beauty of summer here in Wisconsin, as well as the season of hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, and floods around the country, our text reminds us that there is indeed a time and a season for all aspects of the human experience. Those seasons are personal, denominational, and global. As a denomination, and in our conference and congregations, we're in a season of creativity. An old adage says, necessity is the mother of invention. Necessity and desperation requires that we do something different now. In order to survive and ensure the continuation of our vital mission and ministries in our communities and the world, we need to be creative. We need to change. One of the most encouraging words in our text is the reminder that eternity is in our hearts, and the implication that it is in God's hands. So we don't have to worry about what's going to happen. We can do our part. We can give the best we have to give. We can do the planning, the preparation and implementation, and we can pray and fast and worship God. And I believe, like the preacher wrote, God's gift to humanity is to be joyful and to do good as long as we live, to eat and drink and take pleasure in our toil. Our toil can be washing the dishes or running the White House, pastoring a congregation or being a faithful member of one. Each of us is called to a unique, particular, divine purpose. In this season, in the life of the church and world, I believe the most important thing we can do is open our minds to new vistas of possibility that God shows us every day. The one constant in life is change. Our joy is in knowing that Jesus is in the midst of us in the good times and the hard times, in success and in failure, in gain and loss. My experience is whatever season of life I find myself in, it's always a good time to trust Jesus for the outcomes. Again, thank you for sharing this time with me today, and thank you for loving unconditionally and giving wholeheartedly. All of the ministries that the Wisconsin Conference supports would not be possible without your loving spirit of generosity. Peace and blessings.